Cold Turkey certainly sounded like a really interesting film, and I did enjoy it, but I found that as it went on, it became less interesting. I guess the novelty of the interesting concept kind of wore off. This was released in 1971. It's directed by Norman Lear, written by Lear, based on I'm Giving Them Up for Good by Margaret and Neil Rao, and we have a cast including Dick Van Dyke, Bob Newhart, Pippa Scott. It's because of Dick Van Dyke that I decided to watch this, and I feel like maybe I would have watched it if I just discovered it randomly. I will read what it says on the poster for this. I almost never ever do that, but I found this to be really interesting. So the poster says, what happens when an evil tobacco company offers $25 million to an entire town to stop smoking for 30 days? What happens when 4,006 heavy smokers from Eagle Rock, Iowa take up the challenge? I love that. That's so fascinating. As somebody who was very much anti-smoking, I love the idea of a town trying to quit smoking. I don't care what the incentive is. I don't care if it's money motivated. I think it's a great thing. And I was very keen to find out what would happen. I have to say, the concept of an entire town giving up smoking at the same time could be really dangerous. Because giving up smoking, giving up anything, can make a person really irritable. There can be a lot of withdrawal symptoms. So I was keen to see how this would play out. And I'm not going to say what happens, of course, but in general, I was happy enough with the execution. I think I enjoyed it more. I don't want to say the first half of the film, I think it was a little longer than that. But as it went on, I do feel like this fascinating story kind of wore off and it became a little less interesting. It is a comedy, and I did find it to be quite funny. It didn't fully appeal to my comedic tastes, but certainly it was amusing enough, so I don't have any issues with the comedy aspect. The characters are well enough written, the performances are good, visually it's absolutely fine, good camera work, lighting, the music's not too bad. The characters are, I didn't really care for any one character. I wasn't drawn to any one particular character. Obviously, given the nature of the narrative, we do have a lot of different characters, and in general, they're all absolutely fine. No problems with any of them. So, apart from the fact that I do feel it became a little less interesting as it went on, I don't really have any issues with Cold Turkey. It was an interesting concept. I'd say it was generally well executed. And all things considered, it was an enjoyable experience. Do I recommend it? Absolutely. It's generally quite an easy watch. I think it's certainly quite thought-provoking. And I enjoyed it well enough. I doubt I'd watch it a second time. As I said, for me, the concept kind of became less interesting as it went on. It's not so much that it was badly executed or that I don't agree with what was happening. It's just in terms of personal preference, it maybe wasn't as engaging throughout. But that being said, I still enjoyed it. Ultimately, I came away from Cold Turkey feeling pretty satisfied with the experience, and of course, I'm certainly happy to recommend it.